Hi, this is Steve. Hey, I wanted to show you a little bit about the collections management tool in Dynamics GP. It's really a pretty useful tool, but I find that a lot of people don't use it. And I really don't understand because it really makes it a lot easier to keep on top of your receivables. So let's take a look at it. So let's go to the sales area page. And where we want to go there is collection main. This is the main window in collections management, and this is really where all the action takes place. So let's look up a customer, look up Aaron Fitz here. The window fills in with a lot of data. So let's take a look at a few areas here. Down at the bottom here, you'll see a number of notes. If I open one of these notes, it'll open up notes about a particular call that I'm working on, or perhaps a particular invoice. I can put notes in here, but I can also relate these to particular invoices. Open this up, you can see this is related to this invoice right here. I can select invoice, open it up, and I can see the invoice right there. So as I make notes, I can time those notes, date them. I can also set them for work in the future, and I can also attach particular invoices, one or more, to that particular item that I'm working on. You can see I can have set up different action IDs. Here I've got this one is disputed, and there's different types that you can set up as well. But I've got all the notes for this client right here. To create a new note, it's really quite simple. I hit New Note, and I might want to select an action lookup. Let's say I'm talking to the customer and they've promised to pay, and it's today. And this is the current date on my system. On this particular action ID, I've asked for follow-up in 7 days. The system's calculated that, and this is the action date. This is when I'm going to call back and see if in fact the customer did pay. I can also attach invoices. So I'm going to attach a couple invoices here. Let's take a look at these invoices here and attach this to the note. When I do that, you can see it gives me information there about that collection call. I can also add some additional information. And keep that as part of the note. So when I save that, it's going to do a couple things. It's going to save it in the window below, but because it has a future action date in it, it's also going to be available in queries when I look at those. So let's hit save. You can see that becomes part of the notes section right there. I can also look up invoices here. This stats window, this brings up a familiar window. This is the regular summary inquiry. But I've got another aging right here, and I can look up invoices in this aging bucket here, and say I want to look at this one. I can select, I can open it up, and maybe I'm talking to the customer about this invoice. I can easily email that out to him just by clicking on that. If the email address is set up for that particular customer, the system's going to generate an email, and we'll take a look at that. I can see that email came in, so let's take a look at it. Let's go over here to my Outlook. Here's the email here. Let me open that up. It creates a PDF document because that's the type of form I specified in GP. And if I open that up, it gives me a nice looking rendition of that particular invoice. You can see it right there. So this makes it easy to work with your clients and help resolve the payment issues. There's a lot of information that's available on this screen. For example, I've got unposted sales here. If I'm having a credit problem and I see that I've got unposted sales that haven't even been issued yet, I want to look at that, make sure that I don't send out stuff that I don't think I'm going to collect. So I can easily drill down on that, and I can find a number of orders here that are ready to go. I can open those up, and I can start having a conversation with the customer, but also with my operations people. Maybe I want to put a credit hold on that customer. Maybe I want to hold these orders back. But I have easy access to that type of information. I can also go to my task window here, and this looks at the action date of all those notes that I put in the system. And right now it's showing me that I have this one note that needs action right now, so I can easily open that up and take a look at it and then follow up on that. So for example, this is a promise to pay. This promise was made back on April 3rd. It is now past the action date, which is April 10th. I'm going to need to call back that customer and see what's up with that payment. So it's easy to do. It's easy to see that information. Another thing that's really helpful in this collections main window is that I can set up queries to not look at my entire customer database. I may just want to look at certain parts of that. So what I can do is I can hit query here, and I can look up a query. I've got a couple here. These are promises to pay. I can just run those queries, and it's going to show me that it looks at all the customers in there and it pulls up one record. This is one that we've been looking at, but this one had notes where promises to pay was the action item and it had passed the action date. So I can scroll through all my customers that have that condition and see them right here. Here's another one that I set up. This is for all customers over 30 days. I'm going to run that query. And when I do that, it brings up not the entire customer database, but just the ones that meet that query attributes. So I can just scroll through there, and you can see that the query is still in effect, and I can look at all these customers that have amounts overdue. And they're really easy to do. I can create a query on a number of different attributes. So, for example, let's do another one here. These are really old ones, and we'll just make one up here. And really, what we're looking at is the periods, aging periods, and I'm just going to look at these here. So I'll put that in as the restrictions and save it, and now run that query. When I run it, again, it's going to look at all the customers in my customer master file, and it's going to pick up the ones that meet those restrictions, and there they are. So when I go back here, I start scrolling again, I'm just looking at the customers that I want to focus on. So again, this focuses your attention on the items that really need to be handled. I really like collections management. It can really help you keep on top of your receivables. But a lot of people don't use it. If you're not using it and it's part of your system, you should really take a look at it. It's going to help you collect that money that's been outstanding. It's going to improve your cash flow, and it's going to improve your working capital situation.